Year, what's good, everybody? This is Skates. Today I'm coming at you with a video on how to sample direct into Maschine externally using the inputs. Now this is going to be a little bit of a difficult task for me because I only have one camera. Even though you see two, I really only have one camera. The camera showing my ugly mug is the trash built-in internal webcam from my laptop, and then this one over here, that where you see my machine, is actually not a webcam at all. It's actually my iPhone, and I normally record direct in from like my iPhone when I am sampling, and that's going to be impossible to show because I'm currently using it as a webcam. But what you want to do, you want to grab you a tip ring sleeve cable, which looks like this. Split, red is always right, black is left. The other end looks like this, and then you can either get this with the 1/4 inch or 1/8 inch piece on this side. Normally I go for the 1/8 inch because what I do is sample from my iPhone using the dongle, or your iPad, anything else that you want to sample using that dongle, or you can sample direct in with the headphone jack if you're not using that, if you're using anything in Android, which works the best in my opinion. So once you go ahead and do that, you click the sample button. When you click the sample button, you have to choose a import source. By default, it will be set to stereo or external stereo. Now, of course, when I do this, it's only going to play the audio that's playing right now on the right side, and that's because that's what my mic's plugged into. I'm going to set this back to mono, so it's back in the middle, but you want to make sure that it's set to external stereo on your end. If you go to detect this under the mode, if you select detect, you're going to get this bar here, and what that is the threshold to the level of audio when you want it to start recording. And what that means is, as you can see, if I click start, anything that's underneath of that level is not going to pick up. That's why it's saying waiting for input. But if I bring this down here, it'll go ahead and start recording because my voice has met that threshold and my voice is being picked up. If I hit stop, you can see that it's coming in there, right? Which is cool. Sync is going to let you specify how many bars you're recording in the loop. So you can set 1 through 16, or you can set it to free, and it'll just record for as long as you want it to. But it'll be syncopated with the tempo of the DAW. And then loop recording will actually allow you to do live loops the way that a lot of people do using Ableton and now using Maschine. I'm not into that, doing anything live yet, but it's something that I plan on doing in the future. So I'll set this back to detect, and I showed you how exactly it is that worked. The reason why you can hear my voice is because monitor is set to on, so that when you're recording in, you can hear everything that you want to be able to hear live, which is cool. So because I can't show you the way that I normally would sample using my iPhone, I'm just going to drag a WAV file in so you can see what you do next, because I've showed you how to record already. And I use the auto chop feature. This is my favorite chop method. And what it does, it will automatically syncopate the chop that you tapped your finger on to the transient, which is the point right before the sample. Which snaps to the grid probably better than most other softwares do outside of MPC, because that's where it got the idea from. And it goes by bank starting at -C2 all the way up until you fill your entire piano roll. So let's go ahead and try it. So it's currently set. I'm going to hit slice up here, and then auto slice is already activated, so all you got to do is tap the pads. And we continue. Bank 2.
As the light of the sunrise nears, I hate to think what went on in here.
Bank 3.
Reassemble my shattered mind before the eyes of another kind. Alternatives I found, but they just can't be found. Liberations from the past create an optical sound.
That sounds crazy, that last part. Okay, so if you want to go back to the beginning of your chops, you click the shift button and you can go through the different banks. So we go all the way back to bank one. I didn't like the way that that hit, and I'm going to edit that by clicking this right arrow and then making sure the start is selected on page 2. Move that over just a tad bit. Now it's going to land on the 1. And then I'm going to click apply. Now in this screen, if you hit single, it's going to apply that one chop to a single pad. If single is not active, then what it's going to go ahead and do is apply everything to the piano roll. So we hit OK. And it applies all of those chops automatically to the piano roll. Now, I, for one, cannot remember how to get this to not do this, and it drives me crazy. Let me see if I can figure that out now. So we go back to sampling. Okay, if you don't want it to create a pattern, I just figured it out. What you do is you click this right arrow, and where it says pattern here, you turn pattern off to none. You can also do it from here as well. So now it won't create a pattern. I'm going to hit apply, and it's going to apply it to this whole thing. Okay, and now we go back to the regular what is it called? We go back to the sound settings, and then from here you go to keyboard mode. Now notice it's going to start all the way at -C2 because that's where the sample normally starts at when you're chopping it. Okay, and if you notice when I press all of those pads, they overlapped each other. What you need to do is hit plugin and then go to the voice settings and set this to 1 so that they don't overrun each other. And then if you want to go to your next bank, you hit the keyboard mode and then you go up an octave. That's going to give you bank 2. We'll go up another octave. I'm going to keep going up until I can't. That's where I wanted to be at, okay? Okay, I think I got a chop. Bang, so I got something that I like. I'm going to set the tempo by just clicking tap. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I think I'm going to use that as a pattern. And what is that? A 4-bar loop. So we go to the pattern, and I'm going to delete all of these other patterns that I already had. And I'm going to do a 2-bar pattern. Shift right, or I'm sorry, shift record. Turn this volume down some because it's thumping right now. Wait. Now let's do some EQing here. So there's already an EQ. You don't even have to throw another EQ on it. Where's it at? Filter. You can throw a low pass, band pass, high pass, or EQ. I'm just going to choose the EQ. Actually, let's go here. And we're using a high pass to make room for the bass and for the drums. Okay, and let's see what else we can do. Add a couple more effects to this. Initial reverse. Okay, and DJ Dahi is probably one of my favorite producers of the last decade, almost from what, like 2008 to maybe now. This is already starting to sound like a Money Trees track. So, one of the big things that was a problem in Machine for a very long time was the fact that it had no auto stretch and no automatic time stretch. So what you can do to do away with that, now if you click the save, now if you click that icon there, you can drag this here, and it automatically knows that it's a audio loop. So now when you raise the tempo, and I'm going to mute the chops that I have from before. And it automatically will make sure that the tempo isn't doing anything wild. And I can move the tempo up and down perfectly fine now. And there's different stretch modes. I'm going to use this 4-minute. Now, when you use the 4-minute, I always say 4-minute, and I don't know why. When you use 4-minute, it is a lot more CPU heavy than the other ones. Repitch is good. These are no different than the algorithms for time stretching for Ableton. I think they actually got a lot of this from Ableton in regards to the way the coding is set behind. They always trade off ideas behind the scenes because the developers that used to work for Ableton started working for Native Instruments, and they always cross platforms between each other, which is why the two are so similar. I just wish that they would talk to each other, more in regards to the software. But that's neither here nor there, so I'll choose format. Cool. Let's give it some wobble. So what I am going to choose is Native Instruments. What is it? Where is it at? Reactor 6. Okay, but there's a this here is a Reactor snapshot called VHS, which is dope. Whoever, I can't remember the guy who made this, but it's great. It actually is like a what everybody uses RC color for to make everything sound like lo-fi. It's on the same vibe, but emulating VHS instead of just regular color or like vinyl distortion, things like that. So name this real quick, and we go back here. Reflex. Actually, let's try Metaverb. just record that. Hey, I got butter, wait. We'll sidechain the sample to the kick internal. Where is it at? Compressor. I always set this to feedback, and then sidechain. Damn it, the hell. Yeah, okay, sidechain input, source, orange kick. Do the same thing again. Actually, I'll just duplicate this. Why is there no duplicate? There's a copy and a paste, but no duplicate. And we'll set that to C2. Let's get an 808 in here. And wait. Okay, now that we got that, we sidechain this to the kick. Source, orange kick. But that's it though. Like, sampling a machine, it's very, very easy. Especially because you can time stretch now so that you can, bump the tempo up and bring it down to anything that you want it to be. That was something that was a very much needed feature. If only they can get this damn arranger together and just allow me to be able to drag and drop samples and put them like here for like a crash the way that I normally do. I would absolutely love that if they would just go ahead and revamp that. That and adding an auto backup and importing drums are the last things that I feel like I need from Native Instruments Maschine. After that, I can be a-okay with everything. So again, that was how it is that I personally am sampling currently inside a Maschine. If you like this video, comment, subscribe, ask questions, inquire. If you got anything that you want me to show you how to do internally or externally on Maschine, I'll be more than happy to show you. Again, my name is Skates. Peace. Y'all be blessed. Love and light. All that good stuff. Have a great day.